Good morning and welcome to the Senior Center of Elk Grove. This is a little different, I wouldn't want to say class, but it's an orientation just to let you know what we do here, what kind of exercise activities and classes we have going on, and also to let you know what kind of equipment you might need for some of the classes. So when you do tune in and you're going to take a class, you don't have to run around your house scrambling to find the equipment that you're going to need. So we're going to go through just a few pieces of equipment, things that are around the house that you can use if you don't have, let's say, a set of weights or even an exercise mat. So let's start with a chair. We use a chair almost in every class. Even in our aerobics class, the last part of the class, we like to sit down, do a little stretching, sitting down in a chair and working those oblique muscles a little bit side to side, and even working your abdominal and your lower back while we're sitting in a chair. Now I know that you have a lot of different choices at home for chairs. Get something light. A folding bridge chair would work really well because then you can move it around. Sometimes we turn it sideways, sometimes we turn it front to back. Sometimes even during the mat classes or stretch and relax, we lay the mat on the floor and we put our feet up on the chair. So keep these things in mind when you find a chair at your house that you think will work for you. You can also use a little footstool if it's not too low. Sometimes we do squats coming up and down, letting our bottom just touch and then come up. So make sure that it's not too low if you're using a footstool, but that's a good choice as well. That means you're not going to lean back onto the back of the chair. You'll have to use your muscles to support yourself a little bit more. So here at the Senior Center, we have these great chairs. They're pretty light. We can move them around really nicely. There's a little bit of a bend, but it's not so far down. It also has a little handle here in the back, so when we're doing a lot of our balance exercises, you can grip it with one hand, left, right. We can grip it with both hands as we come back and forth. So something that's really tall, something that's really wide might not be something that you're going to use, but a bridge chair should work ideal. Even two of them just to kind of have around the house. Sometimes when we're going to be doing our mat work, we're going to have our bottoms on the chair, but our feet are going to reach out from the floor on top of another chair across the room. So two chairs would be ideal. If you only have one, that's okay. I'll give you some ways that you can do it with just one chair. So let's go ahead and put the chair out here to the side. The next thing we're going to grab is something to hold in the hands. If you really are stuck on what to get, go into your room, grab a pair of socks. If they're bunched together, open them up, roll them in a ball, and you can hold them in your hands. And that way you can just have something nice and light to hold in your hands as we're going through the movement. Remember, you can do anything with range of motion. You don't have to have a heavy weight in your hand. We have, here at the Senior Center, we have weights. They range from 1 to 4 pounds. 1 pound is nice just to get range of motion and a little bit of toning. But ideally between 2 and 3 pounds work best. 4 to 5 if you've been doing it for a while and you want to maybe grow some muscles. And you can see we just grip the weights and you can hold them above your head and do a lot of different movements with the weights. We even do a lot of punching across the body. Keep that in mind if you're looking for an alternative at your house. A few things that we can grab if we go into the kitchen and you have some water bottles. You can go ahead and hold on to those. They work really nicely. You just have to remember, don't grip them really tightly because they open up. And you can get a nice punch across, reaching up, as long as you have that grip, which is really nice. Even tennis balls. So if you have a set of tennis balls at home, you can grab one in each hand and do the same thing with tennis balls. A pen. Your pen in each hand. So remember, there's a lot of different things that you can grab around your house. Just make sure that's something you can grip. Even nothing at all, but just make sure you're making a fist. The other thing is you want to always make sure you have some water close by. The shortest exercise class that we'll be offering is a 30-minute class, and even during that 30-minute class, you're going to want to at least take one water break. You don't want to have to, run into the kitchen to grab some water. So make sure you have a water bottle, something close by that when we take our little water break, you can get a sip and then come right back with us. We're going to talk about a step. So we have a few choices for steps. The ideal thing that I would like for everyone to have is something like a yoga block. The yoga block is probably about 4 inches tall, something that's maybe just about as long as your foot, so that you can put it down and you can put 1 foot on top. Now we don't put all of our body weight on it, so we don't step on it, so don't worry about that. You just want to be able to tap up and down, get the heel on the foot, tap that up and down. Sometimes we even take the block, we stand it up, and you can reach down for the block. So keep that in mind. So you want to have something that's a little versatile, just not flat on the ground. So you don't have a yoga block at home? That's okay. Let's talk about a few things you can use instead of that. So I looked around here at the senior center and I found this little crate. This crate would be great just for tapping. It would not be good for putting the body weight on, but that's okay. That's not what we plan on doing. We plan on having that down in front of us, sitting in a chair, standing up, maybe holding on to the chair or wall for balance, and just stepping up with one leg, bringing it up and down, side to side, just like we did with the yoga block, putting the heel on top of it and reaching down. Pretty easy. Let's say that's not going to work for you around your house. You can't find anything like that. That's all right. Grab a towel. So a perfect size towel would be a hand towel. If you have a washcloth that's going to be a little bit too short, but a hand towel would be great. A bath towel you can use. You're just going to make a few more folds. So we're going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to fold it in half again, and then I'm going to roll it up like a ball. Now I have I have a rubber band and I have a hair tie, so you can use either one or both. If you have a bigger towel, you might need to get a few more ties. We're going to roll it up, and we're just going to slip a rubber band on one side, a hair tie or a rubber band on the other side, and look at that, we made a little step. So it's nice and flat. You give it a little push, and then you could put this down on the ground, and you can do the same thing. You can step up and down. You can go side to side. We can put your heel on top, and we can reach on. Maybe it's a little bit further down than the step, but that's all right. You can always just reach to your ankle or to your knee as we're reaching down, and pull your leg back. Pretty easy. The other thing we can do with this ball towel or towel step is use it to toss up and down. Now, if you don't have anything at home, like a little, here at the center, we do have those purple balls that we've used in the past. Maybe you have grandkids around the house and they have one of those little balls they use for 2 square or just for catch. You can use something like that. You can use a tennis ball, just anything that you can bring up and down. And if you're willing to get a little toss, then swing it through and get a toss. We do bring it side to side. And when we're laying down on the mat, we will bring it above the head and a little to the left and a little to the right. So one of those big exercises balls would be a little bit too wide and bulky, and you're not going to have a good grip on it. So something small, just like this little towel ball, would work out perfect. Okay, the other thing we're going to need is an exercise mat. Many kind of mats out there. Just make sure the mat that you have at your house works well on the floor that you have. So some of the exercise mats are really slippery, and if you're on a tile floor or a floor that is real slippery, you'll put that down and you can slip. So you want to play around with this a little bit. If we're using our exercise mat for our step, we're going to fold it up. Let's open it. They're pretty wide. We'll fold it in half again, and maybe one more time, just like this. And we can use this for our step as well. Put it down in front of you. And once again, foot comes out, to the side, to the top, to the side, on top, back, forward, heel up, and reach down. So another alternative to a step. Not really that easy to throw it up like a ball, but it works really well for the step. We also use the mat for laying down when we do our new BAM 2020 class, and when we do our stretch and relax class. So you want to make sure that your mat is comfortable for you. These mats here at the senior center are pretty thin. At home you might have a thicker mat. Whatever works best for you, just make sure, once again, that you're not sliding on your floor. We're going to use the mat to sit on, to lay down on, and sometimes just, if we're in our socks, to have our feet on as we're doing stretches. So if you want, take your socks off, make sure you're not slipping around too much on the mat that you have at home. If you are, then you might want to do everything with shoes on. So again, you want to be safe. You want to make sure that you're feeling comfortable. You want to make sure that your house is air conditioned, or your windows are open, or you have a fan on. You don't want to overheat. Since we're not with you, we can't adjust the control in here at your place, only here at our place. So please don't make sure you overheat. If you're getting thirsty, please grab a drink of water. So we're ready to do our mat class, and you look around and you say, I never bought an exercise mat. What should I do? Easy. Go get a towel. A beach towel would be great, because then you can cover up a lot of space on your floor. If you are on a surface that's not carpeted, maybe get 2 or 3 towels so that when you sit on them and you lay on them, you have a little bit more cushion on them. You can also get a heavy blanket and put that down, and then put a light towel on top of it. Therefore, you don't have to wash that blanket as often. You just throw that towel right into the laundry, and you don't have to wash a big heavy blanket. So remember, look around your house, use what you can. If you have any questions, you can email us, call us here at the Senior Center. I'll be more than happy to help you look around your house and find equipment that works well for you. And I hope to see you real soon at one of our classes. Don't forget our new one tomorrow morning, live, BAM 2020. See you then.